Okay, I'll just start this video with a quick safety check. Gun is empty. Okay, this is a follow-up video on my STI Trojan 6-inch. I did the other video about November last year, and I thought I'd just give a follow-up. I've done about 2,500 rounds on the gun since then. I'm still very, very happy with the gun. Still functions very, very well. Still shooting. Well, it's actually more accurate now than it was, but that's something else I've done to it. I know there's probably someone else there thinking, why have you only done 2,500, 3,000 rounds in a year with a gun? Well, I share my time between this gun, all the other guns in my collection, and I've been doing my pet project, which has been a long slide, long barrel 45, and family. So when you're only home 2/3 of the time, you've got to really spare your time out. Okay, what have I done since the last video to modify the gun? First thing after the last video would have been a trigger job. I've kept the plastic trigger in there. I still want to get a metal trigger, but I got a trigger job done. The gunsmith did very well. He's really smoothed it out. It's just beautiful now. It would have to be one of the lightest and nicest 1911 triggers I've ever felt. Had the barrel re-crowned with a target crown. There was nothing wrong with the original accuracy. I was regularly shooting 50mm groups. After the re-crown, my best group has been 35mm, so 1.5 cm, half an inch better, so it's definitely worth doing that as well. I've had the Mainspring Housing. I removed that, put a curved stainless one on. The original Mainspring Housing was plastic. That's what STI comes with. As I said in the last video, there was nothing wrong with the plastic one. They worked well. It's just I don't love plastic parts, and when you're doing one-handed shooting, that does feel nicer than just the flat one for me. I've replaced the magazine release with a Wilson Combat one, enlarged. That's really good. I've got a enlarged slide release, which came a little bit sharp, so I've just had to polish the edges on that down, and that's made that a lot nicer. I've put these plastic integral magwell grips on it. They're thin. I have smallish hands, so for me it's great, and when I put them on, I put in some lower profile grip screws. Other than that, I haven't done a lot else with it except for shoot it. I've shot it and shot it and shot it, and gone in heaps of competitions and beaten most people shooting centerfires. The only people I can't quite catch is fully done up service revolvers. They still get me. In the 900 matches, I broke 780 the other day, and as a B grade shooter, it's good to have a gun that shoots, you know, as well as you can. What else would I change? I was shooting it with a lowered safety, one-handed. I had to go back to ambi safeties because in service you shoot both-handed. I'd love to be able to have a lowered safety on and get the best of both worlds, but I'm not willing to change it every time I do a competition. The other thing is, just here, this is a little bit rough. On my other 1911s, I don't shoot them as long as I shoot this, so I could shoot 150 rounds in a match with this gun, but this is just slightly rough, so that'll need some time on a linisher. The fit is fairly good on the grip safety. That's smooth, but it's actually this thumb safety here that catches you. But no, that's just a niggly thing. It's nothing really wrong with that. The velocities I'm getting is about 1,200 feet per second. I could probably push that out a little bit more, but I don't feel the need. It shoots perfectly. Well, basically, I explain it like this. A 22 usually hits wherever you point it. This does the same, and a gun that does that, you really don't need to push any harder, so 1,200 feet per second works for me. So yeah, the gun is still smooth as silk. It hasn't become loose after wear. I've been running a little bit of lithium grease inside here, and that smoothed it out again, but it was already very smooth. It's still tight, still locks up hard as hard. It's good, because the thing is, so half the time I shoot service, half the time I'll do single-handed NRA slow fire, and it's a good gun. You know, there's other guys in there who spend a lot more on their guns. We've got guys with CZs that are done up and Glocks that are done up, guys who have done up, you know, their revolvers and their little 22s, and to shoot a centerfire and outshoot them, even outshoot people above your grade, is a great thing. So that's a testament to the gun. This front sight is great for slow fire. In service, I may be ending up putting a fibre optic on it. That'll have to work itself out. The thing is, I've just bought another gun. I've just bought a Pardini GT9, so this and it will have a shootout. Whichever shoots best will be the one I get to keep. I won't be able to keep them both. In Australia, you can't just keep collecting guns, sadly. You've got to own a gun for a certain competition. The other quick thing to mention is I've been using Checkmate stainless steel magazines. These are both the same. I've just put this mag base on after. They're a 10 round magazine, but after the 10, when you put 10 rounds in, you won't be able to put it into the gun that way, with 10 rounds in with the slide closed. You'll have to have the slide open, then put it in. It's just such a tight magazine. It might loosen up over time, but so far, 2,500 rounds later, they haven't loosened themselves up. I've been using these 125 Conicals. They work very, very well. They've got like a Teflon gold coating on them. And I've been experimenting with these round nose semi-wad cutters, same Teflon coating. These get a few failure to feeds. I think it is this lip on them. They just jam in a little bit, so I'll probably stick to the Conicals in my next batch of reloading for the gun. But no, I'm still very, very happy with it. There's nothing better than shooting offhand at 50 metres and getting 6 shots in the 10 ring. So you can't ask a lot more from a gun. So thank you very much for watching.